Hello everyone, welcome once again to A.O.S Group. I'm so happy today because I'm currently having my live quiz live in Canada. And today is going to be a special day because we are starting a very new concept today because of our recent Canada immigration. And before I actually go on, I would like you to subscribe to this YouTube channel if you have not subscribed to it. Hit on the notification bell in order to get notified anytime we drop a content, and like and share this video with your friends and with your family. So today I'm so happy once again because I said we are going to be having right from today live sessions right here in Canada, specifically at Brampton, Ontario. And as you know, it we're always scheduled to start our live QAs by 3 p.m. West African time, which is the Nigerian time, or 10 a.m. EDT, which is the Ontario time daily. So if you have any questions whatsoever, then kindly drop it on the live on the comment section or on the live chat section of this video right now. Now, today we want to tackle a very interesting topic, and this topic is something that many people have been asking about. Many people have always want to know how they could actually go through it. I, for instance, I also had the opportunity to, you understand, relocate to Canada, but not everyone knows how to do it. Not everyone knows how to prepare to get selected or to get approved to move to Canada. Meanwhile, I would like to tell you today that the very first visa I applied for was a success, which was the Canadian visa, the PR visa specifically. And that means that I would say I have some tips and guidelines that you could actually use to get your own visa approved, whether be it the first time you got your visa or whether be it subsequent times. Maybe perhaps you have travel history and you have gone to other countries. So without wasting much time, let's actually go on to the question 261. And this question was asked during M.M.M to Canada in 2023 webinar, which is the Make Money and Migrate to Canada in 2023 webinar. And the question goes thus. It states that I want to know how I can relocate to Canada within 5 months. And the question was asked by OJELADE Olúwaṣeyì from Nigeria. Now, many people would always want to know, how can they do this? How can they relocate to Canada? How can they move to Canada within a few months or within a few weeks, within just a year? And yes, it is possible, but there are some steps, there are some guidelines, there are some processes you need to adhere to in order to, you understand, get that opportunity to relocate to Canada. And firstly, I always tell people, you can't start anything, or it is not going to be advisable for you to start anything without researching well, you understand, which of the particular immigration programs you want to go through. Many people will just stumble on the fact that, okay, um my friend, for instance, is doing one particular program, and because of that, I too want to go through that program. The fact that your friend or your family member is pursuing one, or maybe has gotten one particular visa approved, that does not mean you also can get that visa. So you need to research your own options. That, okay, take for instance, some people are doing the so-called express entry program. Is the express entry program, or are you qualified for that particular program? If you are not qualified for that program, then you can actually go through another pathway. I, for instance, I went through the provincial nominee program, and for people that actually knows about that, that is a program now currently that a lot of permanent residents are coming into Canada through. I remember the day we were opportune to actually get into the airport of Canada, the Toronto Pearson Airport. We saw quite a lot of people that didn't have the PR. Many people had a visitor visa, they had a study visa. Some people even had temporary work permits. You understand? But I could count like 3 to just 4 people that had the PR card or the PR visa. That's to tell you that the fact that many people are going through the study permits may be your own cue to know that, okay, perhaps it is easier for you to get eligible. But you too also need to note that many people will spend so much funds in order to go through the study route. So if you are someone that don't have the money, you understand, to actually go through that route, you may actually choose another pathway. Do you understand? Now, after you researching and deciding on the particular program, there's always a rule of thumb for people or for clients that I do used to ask my clients if they want to go to a particular program. For study permit, I'll tell them, do you have up to at least 10 million naira to go through the study permit? Or if not, are you someone that is quite brilliant, intelligent, you understand, and you could actually easily get either a partial scholarship or a full scholarship, you understand, in order to study freely in Canada? If you don't have any of these two criteria, I'll tell you that you cannot or you should not attempt to go through the study permit route. Do you understand? Secondly, we have the work permit. I always ask, if you are someone that you are part of what we call the essential workers. There are some essential workers, people that are under the caregiver jobs, they are under the truck driver jobs, they are under the chauffeur jobs, they are under the hairdressing, stylist. You understand? That you are part of the essential jobs, whether be it in the healthcare sector, you understand, or in the construction sector, or in the driving sector. If you are not in any of those, you understand, sectors, it may be quite difficult for you to get the work permit fast, you understand, and easily within the 5 months period you talked about. Likewise, we have the PR. If you want to really move to Canada, you understand, you don't want to stress yourself through perhaps applying for study permit first before you now apply for postgraduate work permit after you have completed your studies, and later on go through the permanent residency route, which could take you 3 to 4 or even 5 years to actually get your permanent footing in Canada. Then you may actually want to go through the permanent residence route. But for that, you have to ask yourself, are you willing to write examinations like IELTS, like TOEFL, TEF Canada, TCF? Because many people are not willing to write those English-based or French-based examinations. Likewise, you need to ask yourself, are you educated? Do you even have the bachelor's degree or the master's degree or the NC or the OND, HND to actually pursue that particular route? And are you willing to actually wait on, to have patience towards that process? Do you understand? In order to get to move to Canada. So those are the questions you need to ask yourself before you just dive into one particular immigration program. Now, that being said, there are some people that have family members, say to speak, in Canada. So you have to ask yourself, if you have family members or friends that could, say to speak, sponsor you to move to Canada, do you understand? If you have that, then are you someone that would like to go through that route? Are you someone that would, you understand, that you have a very good rapport with your family member or with your friend in order for that person to assist your immigration or to assist your relocation process towards Canada? You need to actually ask yourself that. Now, the next thing is you have to look at the eligibility requirements of all those. I've talked about that slightly. Take for instance the language proficiency. You have to look at that. The work experience for people that are going through the work permit. You have to ask yourself, if for instance they are requiring you to actually have 1 year or 2 years experience already in your home country for a particular job that you would get in Canada, do you have that experience already? Do you understand? If you don't have that experience, then do you have the qualification, the academic qualification that would allow the recruiter look at you a second time and want to actually give you that particular job? Do you understand? And do you have funds? If, for instance, you are going to the permanent residency route, do you have proof of funds in order to use to support, you understand, your processing or your application towards Canada immigration? You need to look at that as well. Now, if you are going to the permanent residency route, some people will say, okay, yes, you have to create your express entry profile. Do you understand? Or you have to go to a particular province in order to get that particular approval or that invitation from a particular province or territory. But if you are going to the study route, then you have to look towards getting admissions in schools. You understand? Which kind of schools do you want? Do you want colleges? Do you want what do you call it now? Universities, or do you want polytechnics or even monotechnics or even vocational institutes whereby you would go to study, you understand? Because some people, for instance, will not want to get bachelor's or master's because it's quite expensive or more expensive than going for vocational trainings. So you have to look at that are you someone that is fit to do for vocational trainings, become a mechanic, you understand, after studying in Canada, a technician after studying in Canada, you understand, or a plumber or things like that? Or are you someone that would like to go through the academic route? Do you understand? So you have to start looking for schools that would actually get to approve give you admissions, you understand, based on what you want to study in the, you understand, colleges. Or if, for instance, you are going to the work permit, you have to try looking for recruiters that are willing to employ people right from their own country, and there are quite a lot of them. The only problem is that many people don't know how to source and how to scout for some of those recruiters. So you have to find out. And for instance, at A.O.S Group, we have an online course whereby we actually educate you, you understand, on how to actually get jobs, how to even get admissions, and how to even get easily selected, you understand, through the permanent residency programs. So you can actually go on our website, the ftc.aosacademy.com, to actually check how exactly you could apply for any of our JAPA packages, or our Make Money and Migrate to Canada package, the M.M.M package, or the TWP package, which is the Tourist to Work Permit for Permanent Residency package. Now, that reminds me, many people, as I said, when we were in the airport, came through the tourist visa. You understand? In other words, they came through wanting to actually visit the country, maybe if they have family members or friends in Canada, or even tour the country. Maybe if, for instance, they have very good travel itinerary that suggests that, yes, they really want to go visit different tourist attraction centers. So you could actually develop, you understand, a convincing travel itinerary. You could develop a convincing application, you understand, that would allow you to come into the country as a tourist. And after coming into the country as a tourist, now Canada is actually approving tourists, you understand, or visitors, to actually switch their tourist visas to work permits. Do you understand? So if you are looking towards changing your tourist visa to work permit, this is the time to actually get started with your application. And there are some people that actually change the tourist visa to what we know as the asylum seeking or the refugee claimant. So you can either claim to be a refugee from your own country if you are threatened in your own country, like for instance, the Uber driver that took us from the airport to our home, which is who is from Ukraine. You understand? Definitely, you know that Russia and Ukraine are currently at war. So you could actually use that as an advantage for you to actually move from Ukraine or from any other place, maybe like Sudan, for instance, that Nigerians are coming from, to Canada. You understand? And that could really help you to actually get your relocation or your immigration approved quickly. Now, you also have to look at the necessary documents, because it's not only for you to actually know that yes, you are eligible. You also have to check various factors like your age. Do you have your birth certificate to show that? Your education, do you have your degree certificate, you understand, and your transcript to show that? Work experience, do you have reference letters from your employers to show that yes, you are really experienced in that field? Language proficiency, do you have the test results or the test reports to show that yes, you really have that particular proficiency in that particular language? You understand? If you have a job offer, if you have obtained the job offer, do you have the job offer letter? Those are the documents you would have to show. If you have a provincial nomination, you have to show the provincial nominee letter or the certificate to show that yes, you have been nominated by a particular province or territory. So once you have collated all those your results, all those your documents, all those your certificates, then you now have to actually send it. You understand? You have to use it to apply. You understand? Using your passport, using your educational certificate, your language test results, even as far as getting your medicals and your police clearance certificate. Now, I want to give you a tip. If you want to be fast with your processing, if you want to actually get approved and move to Canada within the 5 months you talked about, then you need to have all your documents up to date, and you need to meet different specific requirements. And I'll give you a particular scenario. If you are working through the PR process, then it may be very nice of you to actually get an upfront medical done before they even ask of it, so that you are well prepared. Once you are applying, you send in that upfront medical report, or even if it's through the study permit or the visitor visa or the work permit, you can even just have a kind of dummy appointment letter, you understand, that you would attach to your application to state that yes, you have actually booked an appointment with the panel of physicians in order to get your application quickly approved. And likewise, if you are someone that you need to actually show your travel itinerary, you need to show the hotel you are going to land in, or maybe the house that your family member is going to land put you in after your visit, during your visitation to Canada, or you need to actually show all those, it will be wise of you to actually have likewise a dummy flight ticket that definitely you would not already have paid for, but it could have been booked, do you understand, or reserved rather for you, so that they know that yes, you're already planning towards your vacation in Canada, so that they know that yes, with your hotel reservation, the dummy one without you paying for it, shows that yes, you have already started planning for your tourism or your visitation in Canada. So these are some of the things you can do to fast track your process in order to get to move to Canada quickly before even the 5 months you talked about. And definitely after submitting your application, you have to try as much as possible to pay the application fees, so that many people that go through the PR process may actually pay for the PR application fee and out paying for the rights of permanent residency fee. That would delay your processing. Instead of you paying for one first before the other, it may be wise of you to pay for the two at once, so that it fast tracks your process. It may be wise of you to also go through all your submitted documents and try to update it anytime. Maybe for instance you got married and you want to actually move with your spouse, quickly update it before they actually ask of it. If you gave birth whilst you were applying, quickly update your application by sending them a web form, you understand, to state your new status, so that they quickly, you understand, add it to the processing and they work towards what you have actually moved. And please, I would also indulge you that after you have applied, the next thing is that you try to prepare for your movement. One thing many people don't actually focus on is the mentality when it comes to relocation. Don't just be physical about it, be mental about it. Start watching YouTube videos. That's what I did, and it's at the end of it worked for me. So start to prepare yourself, start to get your baggages ready, start to find out about flight tickets, start to check the amount that you would actually incur in, you understand, in getting into Canada. You understand, paying for your tuition if you are going through study permits. You understand, paying for your flight ticket if you are going through PR or work permit. You understand, paying for even your living expenses. If for instance you want to actually get a place, you understand, in Canada, start looking through the net, the internet, to check through all what is expected of you. Do you understand? After you have gotten that visa, so put your mindset in that condition, that yes, you are already getting approved, so that you would not be in shock when you finally get invited, and when they actually ask of, maybe for instance, your medical examinations. Since you have actually booked your upfront medicals, that won't be a problem. Your security clearance, maybe for instance your police clearance certificate, start finding out how they go about that, so that as soon as they ask of it, you already have it available and you send it, you understand, in order to fast track your process. Now lastly, I would always indulge you to always receive confirmation before you make your travel arrangements. Even though we stated that yes, start finding out about rentage, start finding out about ticketing, travel, flight tickets, and the rest of it. Don't pay for any of them until you have been confirmed. Until maybe, for instance, if you are working through the PR, until you have gotten your confirmation of permanent residency, you understand, sent to you. Don't focus more on paying for any booking, any flight until you have confirmed. Don't pay for any accommodation until you have confirmed. Don't even, you understand, don't even get your employer to actually send you or pay for anything with your employer or for anybody around, you understand, Canada, without actually confirming that yes, you have been given that particular visa. Do you understand? And please note that the timeline for applications and for approvals may be different based on the programs you're applying for. So you need to actually check the processing times, the current processing times, as at when you want to start your application, you understand, and look through the Canadian immigration website to see if you are actually on track, and to see what you are doing, if you are actually going through the right process. So thank you very much. If you have any questions whatsoever, you can drop in the live chat section or the comment section of this video. You can also reach out to us on our website, or on even our website, aosacademy.com, or even on our what they call it now, on our phone numbers or email address, admin@aosacademy.com, and surely we would always respond to your queries anytime I actually receive it. So thank you very much once again. If you did have got value from this, then kindly hit on the subscribe button. Click on the notification bell in order to get notified anytime we drop a content, and like and share this video with your friends and with your family. Thank you very much, and do have a lovely day ahead. Bye for now.